The Austin 1100-1300 was not just another small British family car. It was a quiet revolution in a neat Pininfarina suit, hiding Mini-inspired engineering, liquid-linked suspension, and a cabin that made rivals feel strangely old overnight. Subscribe if you love classic British car documentaries. Today, we're uncovering the clever secrets and forgotten details behind the little saloon that Britain once couldn't stop buying. The family car that drove like a Mini but rode like a luxury car. The Austin 1100 and 1300 carried one of the cleverest tricks in British motoring. It took the basic idea that made the Mini revolutionary and turned it into something a family could live with every day. Like the Mini, it used a transverse A-series engine and front-wheel drive, pushing the mechanical parts into a compact space. But this was not a cheeky city car with a mischievous grin. It felt calmer, wider, and more grown-up from the driver's seat. On a wet British B-road in the 1960s, that layout gave the car surprising grip and confidence. For ordinary families, it meant more room, better road manners, and less drama. It was small, but it did not feel cheap. That was the magic. Hydrolastic, the secret suspension that made Britain float. One of the most distinctive features of the Austin 1100 and 1300 was hidden where most people never looked, beneath the body, inside its unusual hydrolastic suspension. Unlike most small cars of its era, it did not simply bounce on separate metal springs at each corner. Instead, it used fluid-filled units linked front to rear, allowing the car to absorb bumps in a strangely composed way. The simple idea was that when one wheel moved, the system helped the rest of the car react more smoothly. On Britain's patched-up roads, that made a huge difference. A small family saloon could suddenly feel settled, almost expensive. It gave the car a comfort signature that owners remembered long after the chrome had dulled. This was not just suspension, it was character, bottled in fluid. Pininfarina put Isigonis in an Italian suit. The strangest thing about the Austin 1100 and 1300 was that its brain was deeply British, but its face had Italian fingerprints. Alec Isigonis gave the car its clever engineering logic, yet Pininfarina helped shape the body into something far more elegant than a plain utility machine. The result was a compact saloon with clean lines, balanced proportions, and a crisp little tail that looked more polished than many rivals parked beside it. It did not shout for attention, but it had quiet confidence. That mattered in the early 1960s, when small family cars could easily look upright, narrow, and old-fashioned. The Austin 1100 made practicality look stylish. It was not a sports car, and it never pretended to be, but it wore intelligence with charm. The small car that outsmarted its own class. The Austin 1100 and 1300 looked modest from the pavement, but its greatest trick was how much space it stole from thin air. With the engine placed sideways and the front wheels doing the driving, there was no bulky transmission tunnel stealing room from the cabin. That meant more usable space for passengers, shopping, school bags, and the ordinary clutter of British family life. Compared with many rear-wheel drive rivals of the period, it felt unusually open inside. This was not luxury in the Rolls-Royce sense. It was practical luxury, the feeling that a small car had been designed around people, not just machinery. Every inch had a job. In an age when families wanted value without feeling punished for buying small, this clever packaging became one of the car's hidden advantages. The badge-engineered empire, one car, 6 personalities. Few British cars played as many roles as the ADO 16 family. Under the skin, the formula was familiar, but on the showroom floor, it could become an Austin, a Morris, an MG, a Riley, a Wolseley, or even a Vanden Plas. That was the strange theatre of BMC badge engineering, one basic car, dressed for different buyers. The Austin and Morris versions served ordinary families. The MG added a sharper, more energetic flavor. Wolseley and Riley brought extra trim, extra instruments, and a little more old-world respectability. Then came Vandenplas, turning the humble small saloon into something almost absurdly posh, with wood and leather ambience in a compact body. It was practical, but also theatrical. The same car could be sensible, sporty, conservative, or quietly snobbish. The Estate that almost had self-leveling suspension. The Estate version of the Austin 1100 and Morris 1100 added another layer to the car's cleverness. It took an already space-efficient design and stretched its usefulness for families who needed prams, luggage, tools, or weekend escape gear. The three-door Countryman and Traveller models were not glamorous machines, but they understood real life. Their real intrigue, though, lies in what they almost became. The idea of a self-leveling rear suspension was explored, a feature that would have helped the car sit properly even when loaded. For a small estate in the 1960s, that was remarkably forward-thinking. But, as often happened in the British motor industry, ambition met cost control. The feature did not become the everyday reality. What remained was still practical, but the ghost of that idea makes the Estate story far more interesting. The export chameleon, how one British car became Italian, Australian, Spanish, and South African. The Austin 1100 and 1300 was not just a British street familiar, it became a shapeshifter overseas. In Italy, Innocenti gave the formula a different flavour, making it feel more at home among stylish small European cars. In Australia, the same basic thinking evolved into larger and tougher local variations, including models that pushed the concept beyond its original British brief. In South Africa and Spain, the story became even stranger, with cars such as the Austin Apache and Victoria wearing Michelotti-influenced front and rear styling that made them look like distant relatives rather than direct twins. This was the hidden global life of ADO 16. One platform traveled across borders, changing clothes as it went. Its legacy was not only British success, but international adaptation. The Austin 1100-1300 was more than a clever small saloon. It was a glimpse of how advanced an ordinary British family car could be. From its hydrolastic ride to its Italian-shaped body and global transformations, this was a car full of quiet surprises. Click to watch more stories about Britain's forgotten classic cars. Like, subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.